So far we learned the Gemara, and we know that there's a machlokes Reb Yehuda and Reb Zera regarding the shelo shvuos. According to Reb Yehuda, even a yochid is not allowed to go up from Vayoel to Eretz Yisrael during Golus. According to Reb Zera, only shelo yaalu bachoma. Klal Yisrael is only not allowed collectively. We're going to see shortly what that means. Together, not to be oile to Eretz Yisrael bisman hagolus. We had a Mishnah hakol mailin that if between a husband and a wife, one wants to go to Eretz Yisrael and the other one doesn't, whoever wants to go to Eretz Yisrael can force the one to go. And then hakol mailin from other places in Eretz Yisrael to Yerushalayim. We also had a Gemara that says somebody who lives in Chutz La'aretz is Daimik Kamishein Lo Yaloika. Now the Vayoel Moshe starts, we're going to be skipping around a little. And I'm sacrificing the gishmak of the shtiklach Torah in Vayoel Moshe so that we can get the Yesodus. If you want to get the gishmak, there's some astounding shtiklach in here. You're going to have to do it on your own. We're going to skip around and do the Yesodus. The Sefer Vayoel Moshe starts off that what does Reb Yehuda do with the Mishnah of Hakol Mailin? What do you mean? How could it say Hakol Mailin if you're not allowed to go to Eretz Yisrael, even a Yochid? And what does he do with the Gemara that says, we learn it out from David HaMelech, that whoever lives in Chutz La'aretz is Doimik Kamishein Lo Yaloika. We're going to do this outside, and we're going to start from Ois Tes. But first, he answers Reb Yehuda. Reb Yehuda's shita is going to be that the Mishnah and the statement Galador b'chutz la'aretz k'mishein lo yaloika is talking during the days of the Beis Hamikdash. He goes through that it's not shver b'chlal to take a stam Mishnah and say it's talking in the days of the Beis Hamikdash. He has rayas to that. So he brings a Marami Rottenberg that says that bisman hazeh, between a husband and a wife, the husband can be kai for the wife to go to Eretz Yisrael, but the wife can't be kai for the husband anymore to go to Eretz Yisrael. Because the Mishnah that the husband and the wife can be kai for each other are talking in the days of the Beis Hamikdash. And even the people that disagree with the Marami Rottenberg and ask kashas on him, the Tur, the Chasam Sofer, don't disagree with the Marami Rottenberg, saying that a Mishnah is stam Mishnah without any indication is nevertheless talking about in the days of the Beis Hamikdash. That's not shver. He answers all the kashas on the Marami Rottenberg, and he says that it's based on the idea that Bisman Hazeh, he brings a ritva that holds like this: there's no mitzvah to live anymore in Eretz Yisrael. The ritva says that the whole mitzvah, the chiyuv to live in Eretz Yisrael, is talking only Bisman of the Beis Hamikdash. And now that there's a churban of the Beis Hamikdash, there's a gzeirus hagolus that we're obligated to live everywhere in the world, and that would be a contradiction to obligating people to live in Eretz Yisrael. Even the isser to live in Egypt is botel bisman hazeh, the Ritva says, because we're chayiv to live all around the world in golus. I mean, you would think that even though you're chayiv to live in Golus, there could be one little place in the world carved out that the Torah asa that you're not allowed to be in, Mitzrayim, but says the Ritva, no, the Gzeirus Golus means you have to be everywhere. Kal v'chomer, you are, and it's clear like this in the Ritva himself, that there's no obligation to live only in Eretz Yisrael. You're allowed to live in the United States of America too. Just, he says, there is an Isser, we're going to speak about it later, very much later, to go from Eretz Yisrael into Chutz La'aretz. And even if you don't hold like the Marami Rottenberg says that Bisman Hazeh, at least the husband can be kai for the wife, still, based on the Ritva, we could say that Reb Yehuda holds differently than Marami Rottenberg. Marami Rottenberg is talking la halacha, we're talking now in Reb Yehuda. Reb Yehuda holds that the Mishnah totally is talking about Bisman the Beis Hamikdash. And as for the Gemara's memra, Kol Hador b'chutz la'aretz Doimik Kamishein Lo Yaloika, that anyway is talking about the days of the Beis Hamikdash. He brings from Rashi in Sefer Shmuel Aleph, when David HaMelech was telling Shaul that they chased me out of Eretz Yisrael and forced me to be over Avodah Zarah. So that's where we learn out Kol hadar b'chutz la'aretz k'mishein lo yaloika. But you look at Rashi, now in Vayoel Moshe, look at Siman Hey. Ubalav hochi b'roiv kisvei haTanach, in the majority of Sifrei Tanach, Mavur b'Rashi Sham, al haKosav Gershuni, it says, Hayotzei mi'eretz Yisrael u'lechutz la'aretz bizman habayis kilo oiver avodah zarah. So the majority of the prints say bizman habayis. Umavur b'ferish saying zel bizman habayis. Omno bezes for sim in certain printings. Nishma totevis bizman habayis. Ulam gambalav hochi kevan shevi Rashi sham al zemash kosva targum yoinesen. The Rashi over there quotes the Targum. This is also David Beni Amamaya Yahoilech begoyle nikra kilo over avodah zarah, and in Parshas Va'aschanan on the pasuk Vavaretem Sham Elohim Pirshu Shneha Targumim Targum Unkelis v'Targum Yoinesen, and also Rashi Kitargumoy Mishatem Oivdim Lo Oivdehem Kilo Atem Oivdim Lohem. Why is it that when you go to Chutz La'aretz you're an Oiver avodah zarah? Because you now become an Eved, a servant to the Oivdei avodah zarah. Therefore, you're like an Oived avodah zarah. If that's true, it's open that the reason why somebody who's in Chutz La'aretz is as if he worshipped idols, that's talking only in the days of the Beis Hamikdash, but in the days of Golus, where you have the Romans or the Turks or the Zionists running the country, you're still meshubet to oivdei avodah zarah, and that's why Rashi said bizman habayis. Umnei sheyatzu misham v'holchu lohem tachas memshelas oivdei avodah zarah nikru kach shehein kilu oivdei avodah zarah. V'chein hevi Rashi sham b'tanach Shmuel ahal kosav kershuni. V'chein pirush Rashi in Ksubis, the Gemara that we learned. Look at this diuk over here. B'hach memra hador b'chutz la'aretz kilu oivdei avodah zarah shalom doi mi David. Cause of Rashi, Shinema came bedovim, Neshahoyet Tzorch lebroich me'eretz Yisrael. Now, stop right there. Don't look at the rest of the line. You did already, so you spoiled it. But if you would be writing this Rashi, if you were Rashi, now you want to say, since David HaMelech left Eretz Yisrael and went, finish the sentence, therefore, you're an Oived Avodah Zarah. He went to Eretz Yisrael to where? From Eretz Yisrael to where? Chutz La'aretz, right? That's not what Rashi says. V'lo yomar hatam b'shvil shebarach l'chutz la'aretz, ela b'shvil shebarach el malach moyav, hari shatam hu rak b'shvil hamemshala. Rashi is not saying because he went to chutz la'aretz, because of the place he went. Rashi is saying under whose shilton he was. He says, Balavochi, be'emes kosva Toisvis also, Toisvis says, the Eretz Pelishtim he mi Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Pelishtim is in Eretz Yisrael. And Avram and Yitzchak koyu dorin sham. They bring also in Yeshua mashma the Pelishtim mi Eretz Yisrael, that the Pelishtim were in Eretz Yisrael. By the way, today's Palestinians, they call themselves Palestinians after the Pelishtim. That's what the word means. The Pelishtim were originally in Eretz Yisrael. V'imkein mashabarach David li Eretz Pelishtim ein amuchach shahaya b'chutz la'aretz altogether. The Gemara says, Kol hadar b'chutz la'aretz k'mi she'ein lo yaloika, because we learned from David, but that's because he was in Eretz Pelishtim, and in Eretz Pelishtim there was Oivdei Avodah Zarah running the show. Now, don't forget, David HaMelech was not in the days of Golus. So David HaMelech, that was really Kilu Oivdei Avodah Zarah. It means even in Eretz Yisrael, if you're in Eretz Pelishtim. Bisman Hazeh, Rabbi Yehuda would hold, he doesn't have to hold that there's no mitzvah at all to be in Eretz Yisrael. He could hold there's a Maila, like in the Mishnah it says, Hakol Mailin mi Eretz Yisrael to Yerushalayim. Everybody agrees there's no chiyuv to go from Eretz Yisrael to Yerushalayim, but there's a extra kedusha in Yerushalayim, so there's a Maila to be there. So Rabbi Yehuda could certainly hold there's a Maila to be in Eretz Yisrael, even though he would hold, like the Ritva, that there's no obligation to live there. There's no mitzvah, real mitzvah anymore to live there. Now let's go to Sif Tes. Nachzol in Yanenu, Deloy Koshamidi al Rav Yehuda mihach masnisinu Brisa da Hakol Mailan. There's no kasha on the Mishnah, from the Mishnah and the Brisa of Hakol Mailan on Rav Yehuda. Lo mi boyle das hamarami Rottenberg. Never mind, according to the Rami Rottenberg, the masnisinu Brisa lo Mariela bizman hamikdash. Now, for sure, according to him, it's not a problem. Eino inin klal ed Reb Yehuda dloy mari ela bizman hagolus. Ela filu das hatur shechoylik al amaram. Later on, skip the Lomdus and skip the Chasam Sofer. So, Aval afla feeds vorvein kosher klalim Reb Yehuda Sover ki Yerushalmi al kvarnis bar shadasa be Shmuel shevi shitas Rabbeinu Meir lepsak halacha. That's the Maram Rottenberg who nochonim yushiv mikol akushis. It's not shver at all on the Maram Rottenberg. However, let's continue. Omnom av shemeturotzen divrei Reb Yehuda v'loy kashemidi mikol mokim lahalacha nira dekaim alon kereb zera. The halacha is like Reb Zera, not like Reb Yehuda. An individual is allowed to go to Eretz Yisrael. Shari harifa harosh v'hatur v'hashulchan aruch aviul halacha hachta hakol mailin. Afil bisman hazeh. The halacha is hakol mailin even bisman hazeh. And not like Reb Yehuda, that holds that the Mishnah is talking bisman habayis. Gam Rabbeinu Meir, that's the Maram Rottenberg, shesoiver dal kol ponim b'yishu kein gam bisman hazeh. Even the Maram Rottenberg that we said there's a distinction between the Mishnah is talking bisman habayis and bisman hazeh. Bisman hazeh, still the husband can force the wife at least, and that doesn't make sense according to Reb Yehuda. Ul Reb Yehuda ein ze'elo bisman habayis. So we don't hold like Reb Yehuda. We're going to see later, we're going to skip it actually, the Kesef Mishnah and the Rambam is mashma that he holds like Reb Yehuda, but he is not going to accept that. Gam chazinon beGemara kamo amoyroi desolku mi Bavel Eretz Yisrael. We find in the Gemara many amoyroim went from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael. V'yosem Maisarav Deloik Reb Yehuda, and they did a clear action, a teaching action, not like Reb Yehuda. V'alkochach the Sovri the halacha Reb Zera must be the whole the halacha is like Reb Zera. And then he says, Acha shenitfaseh, after I printed this, Shamati mefakbekim b'mashe kasavti the halacha Reb Zera. I found that people are complaining that I said the halacha is like Reb Zera. Shemavur b'kesef Mishnah, Amashi kosav harambam shom she'osel l'tzeis mi haaretz l'chutz l'oretz, kach osel l'tzeis mi bovel l'shah harotzois, and that's mashma like Reb Yehuda. We're not going through all of this. His maskana is that the halacha is taka going to be like Reb Zera. That's going to be the halacha. And then go all the way down to B'Sefer Nishmas Kol Chai. U'B'Sefer Nishmas Kol Chai hichlit Eloi Kaimelon Kreb Yehuda Ela Kreb Zera. The Sefer Nishmas Kol Chai also holds that the halacha is like Reb Zera. V'Kosav Ezel L'Shoyne Afilu HaRambam De Pasak. Shosel Etzeis Mi Bovel L'Shar HaRotzois. Even according to the Rambam that holds, it's also to go from Bovel to anywhere else. Lav Eretz Yisrael B'chlal. It doesn't mean you're not allowed to go from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael. Shari Matzinu Kama Amoyroim Da'olu V'loi Hashgichu B'zeh. We find many Amoyroim that went from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael and were not bothered by this. Umashikosav Morin B'Kesef Mishnah the Eretz Yisrael B'chlal. Even though that the Kesef Mishnah written by the Beis Yosef writes that the Rambam means Eretz Yisrael also. Omar Achar HaMachila Nira Delesa V'Havale Lipsoik Dehoila Mi Bavel Eretz Yisrael Oiver Ba'asei. He disagrees with the Kesef Mishnah, and he says it's not true. You're allowed to go from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael. We don't hold like Rabbi Yehuda. Gam Rabbi Yankiv Emden B'Siduroi Hichlit Shein Halacha K'Rev Yehuda. Rabbi Yankiv Emden writes the halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda. Elosh L'Shoynot Tzarchiyan. His loshen is shver. Aval Hevi Mikama Mekaymis B'Shas Harbe Amoyroim Ein Mispar Shasu Maisav and also Mi Bavel Eretz Yisrael. Many Amoyroim went from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael. Imkein Kulam Sovri Reb Zera must be they all hold like Reb Zera. V'Zevadei Raya Shein Aloha Tshuva. There is no answer to this, no refutation to this proof. Ubishas lo ira b'shum mokom mikolosin hamakomish aviu ma'iserav mahanoisim mibovel eretz Yisrael v'heichef shalidchois zeh. All over Shas, without any peep of objection, we find Amoyroim going all the time from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael, and that's a kasha shein oleha tshuva. So now, let's go to Sif Yud, Ois Yud, in the Vayoel Moshe. So we have a psak like Reb Zera, Pirushan Shalosh Shvuos. V'hinei, we have to understand now, we need to understand what Reb Zera holds and what is the meaning of the Shalosh Shvuos. V'hinei, Ladas Reb Zera, Yechidim Utarim Lalois, individuals are allowed to go up to Eretz Yisrael. V'hin HaShvua Elo Al Aliyah Bachoma, quote unquote. What does it mean, choyma? You're not allowed to go up kachoyma, bachoyma, two different girsois. What does it mean? There are three ways to explain this. One, Aliyah shel kinufya gedoil biyachad, a great big gathering together, a bunch of people together not allowed to go. Now he doesn't say yet what's called kinufya gedoila. We'll get there, but at least that's what chayma could mean. 2, Aliyah shel roiv Yisrael, meaning all of Klal Yisrael. All means the majority. It's no such thing that all of Klal Yisrael should be anywhere. But it means the majority of Klal Yisrael should go up to Eretz Yisrael. That will be Yasser. Or number 3, Aliyah alidei melchoma shaloi b'rshus, that somebody had to, Jews, even if it's not a majority Jews, even if it's not Knufya Gedola, but if they came to Eretz Yisrael through force of arms, Neged ha'umah ha'yesheves shama, they go and conquer Eretz Yisrael. V'divrei Rashi zal, stumim, Rashi is mysterious, shekosav yachad biyad ha'chazaka, together with strength. V'loshen zet tzorch bi'u lahavin kavanosai, we need to understand what that means. V'yizbar lahalon ma she'efshel afarish b'zeh. And now we're going to go to the Gemara in Yuma. See later on, Uba Gemara, Darish Reish Lakish, Yuma Daf Tesam at Beis. There's a Gemara in Yuma. Im Choymohi, Asisam Atzmachem Kechoyma Valisam Kulchem Bimei Ezra. There's a Gemara over there that Reish Lakish was swimming, and a sage from Vayoel stuck out his hand to help him out of the water. And Reish Lakish said, God hates you Babylonians, because had you listened to Ezra and gone up Kechoyma, B'shas Maisa, then there would have been a big benefit for Klal Yisrael. What the benefits are, we will see. And then he says, Harsha Shekarel Aliyah Merubin Beloshen Choyma. He's referring to what could have been the Jews going from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael, Choyma. Avshohaya HaKol B'Rshus. Over there, nobody wanted to conquer anything. He said that had they gone, they had Rishus over them. That was Kairish, Ezra, right? They had a call to go to Eretz Yisrael, and had Rishus to go, and he says that's called Choyma. And there was no force of arms. Adarabah, the Kairish welcomes them. So you see, first of all, that they could have done whatever they want. Rashi Pirshal. So you see from there that Choyma doesn't have to mean with force. Any great amount of Jews going to Eretz Yisrael, at least what was there b'mei Bavel, that's called Choyma. And then Rashi says on the pasuk in Shir Hashirim, Choymahi im tchazek be'emunaso b'yirasol hiyos kenegdem kechoyma kechoymas nechoishes shlo yikonsu l'soicha. Meaning, if you want to be a metal wall, a copper wall, meaning meaning you're steadfast, you're not going to assimilate. That's called harishikar loshen choyma choizik hamuna. So you see, strength, just strength. It doesn't have to mean actual violence. Just anything that's considered strong is called choyma. Choyma means strong. And then he brings more places with Medrash Rabbah and other Midrashim where it says that Choyma just means any loshen of a large gathering of people or anything that's strong is considered Choyma. It doesn't have to be violent, it doesn't have to be military or anything like that. He says that there's a Medrash Rabbah in Shir Hashirim that when Reish Lakish was walking in the Shuk and he saw a group of people there, he said, now you're acting kachoyma. You didn't do choyma when Ezra called, and now you are. So how many people were there gathered together in the Shuk in Bavel? There was no violence. It certainly wasn't even Roiv Yisrael, that's for sure. But he saw a great number of people. That's called choyma. Umidikra isa kenufya shira biyamav b'shuk b'bavel shu chayba v'hisram al shloyasu kain baliyosam b'mei Ezra. He complained that they didn't do this when they went up with Ezra. Mavur shekol kenufya gedola. It's clear from there that any large gathering, afemeinu roiv Yisrael, you don't need roiv of Klal Yisrael v'af b'shus, and you don't need any resistance. Nikra chayma. That's called chayma. They didn't gather in Bavel in the street over there to make a revolution. And if that's true, you wouldn't need to call it chayma. It's anyway also to do that, because that would be merida b'umois. Even in Ezra, the whole thing was with reshus without any rebellion. And also, obviously, it doesn't make sense that majority of Klal Yisrael from all the world gathered together in one place in some shuk in Bavel. Ela shahaya sham b'oisai shuk kinufya gedola. There was a large gathering. V'nir mizeh shekol kinufya gedola b'shvil sheish lo hischaskas meruba, because it's considered a strong gathering. A strong gathering, that's all it means. Nikra chayma. Kasha avesi lel mi pirish Rashi v'chein marin harbe droshes midivrei chazal. Ubi yafei koil. Al shir hashirim b'posuk yishbati eschem. Shechoshav shom b'medrash ha'gimel shvuos. The yafei koil, the Marash Yafa brings the Shalosh Shvuos. He says, quote, V'li efsher d'hocha afilu b'shus hamalchus kamar. Even if the government in Eretz Yisrael give the Jews reshus to come b'kinuf yigedola, kevan da Hashem pizareinu b'kanfais haaretz, ein lonu reshus l'skabis v'liyos k'choy milalois yachad li'Eretz Yisrael. We're not allowed to go together to Eretz Yisrael. We're not allowed to go as a large gathering into Eretz Yisrael. Now, we're not talking yet at all about taking over the land. We're not talking about making it into a state of the Jewish people. We didn't even get there. We're just talking about a large group of people going there. No conquest, no nothing. That would be Aliyah B'choima, Ad Sheyikabtzu Hashem Al Yidei Mashiach. Vayoel Dvarai, and he brings a raya. He says, Im Choimahi, later on in the pasuk, that Im Olu Yisrael Choima Min HaGoyla V'Hosam Loi Mayri B'Yad Roma. He's talking about the pasuk in Shashim that we mentioned. Hine Mavur B'Daitoi. It's clear from the Marash Yafa. Shaf B'Shus HaMalchus Chol HaShvua. The Shvua is talking even if the Malchus gives Rishus. Elashein Mavur Shamim Hu Daiko Kishekol Yisrael Ratzloim Aruboy Roitzen Lalois. He's not explicit whether he means that the majority of Jews have to ascend to Eretz Yisrael. Does Evadei Debru Behave Kekuloi, the Efshe Shlo Yichsu Reize Ad Noshim Watim Kvar Kosav Ataz, the Kol Have Ruboy, Taz and Hilchas Rosh Hashanah. Oy Efshe Hu Kenuf Yegedola, Af Sheinoi Roiv Yisraelim, Kain, Gam Kain Hu Bechlal Zeh. So the Marash Yafa, we know one thing, that you don't need to go into Eretz Yisrael forcefully to violate the shvu of yaalu bachoma. What we don't know yet, according to the Marash Yafa, when he says clearly that even if you do so with permission, it's still considered bachoma, you don't know how many Jews have to go there in order to be considered a violation of the shvua. Do you say any knufi gedola like Ezra saw in the shuk? Or that could also be called choyma. It doesn't mean that everywhere it says the word choyma, it means dafka that. It's not a raya. It means it can mean that. And we know the Marash Yafa says at least that we know that it can't be oila b'choyma even b'rshus. But the Marash Yafa doesn't say how many Jews have to be oila in order to violate the shvua. The Ramban in the Maimer Hagula says, Hine achar Hagula hazoy shenasa b'rishin kairish atiyedema Megillas Esther. So the Ramban says, Bekitza, that the reason why the Jews, so many Jews did not go with Ezra to Eretz Yisrael was because they were afraid. They didn't want to be over on the Shavuos. Shiadua hoya etzlam ki pekida shivim shana lebavel nema v'loy alehem, because the pekida that the Golus ended, that the Golus was for 70 years, was only for Bnei Bavel. But outside of Bnei Bavel, they did not have a proof that the Golus ended, so they didn't want to go. This is the Ramban says. They didn't want to go with Ezra to Eretz Yisrael because they were afraid of violating the Shvuah. So it's clear from the Ramban. That's when the Malchus invited them to come. And there was an invitation from Hashem to come to Eretz Yisrael and build the Beis HaMikdash. It was afterward, it said in the Pasuk, 70 years of Golus. And the Nevi'im prophesied that they're supposed to be oilik mavur bekro. Pasuk says in Yirmiyah, Afal Pikein, pochtu bechol hamedino islalois mechshash tachikas haketz. They were still afraid. They were afraid maybe only in Bavel this applies, but we don't want to go up because of the Shavuos. Yan shloi alehem nemru hapkida kiyim al Bavel. So you have the Ramban too, clearly, that even birshus of governing body in Eretz Yisrael, it would still be considered aliyah l'choyma, and you would violate the shvuah. But we have a kasha on this from the Gemara. We just said the Gemara derived what choima means. That says that they should have gone kachoima b'mei Ezra. So it's mashma that was an aveira that they didn't go. So what's the raya from the fact that they didn't go b'mei Ezra? So he says, we're going to skip most of this. He has a few terutzim that it's not a stira b'chlal. But we're going to come to the end. V'yoysenira shigam Reish Lakish lo'kosha midi. D'loyama Reish Lakish chotu b'zeh shloi olu kulam. Reish Lakish doesn't say that they did an aveira, that they didn't go. Elo, he said, shigorm ha'achet shloi zochu lalois kulam. Shloi k'moshe amru b'gemara, like it says, ruim hoyu b'mei Ezra lasais lehem nes ki b'mei Yeshua el shigorm ha'achet. V'al zeh nemar snino lechu. That's what it means that you're hated. It means like this, like he says, like it says by Moshe Rabbeinu, that Moshe Rabbeinu, if he would have been Zoichet to go into Eretz Yisrael, so he could have been Mavatal the Eitz Zahor for Avodah Zarah. Or it says, had Moshe Rabbeinu been Zoichet to go into Eretz Yisrael, Beis HaMikdash when it was built wouldn't have been destroyed. Is it a taina on Moshe Rabbeinu he didn't go to Eretz Yisrael? No, he was begging to go into Eretz Yisrael, but Hashem wouldn't let him. So same thing over here, that's all it means. It means that had we been Zoicha and wasn't Gor Machet to be Zoicha to go into Eretz Yisrael, B'mei Ezra, and it wouldn't have been Gor Machet that the Shvuos would be a Ma'akiv, so then all this, the Shechina would have been Shoira. But it doesn't mean, just like it doesn't mean it's Moshe Rabbeinu's fault that he didn't go into Eretz Yisrael, it means Gor Machet. He didn't have Aveira that he wasn't allowed to go into Eretz Yisrael. And that's what happened over there. And that's why Hashem hates the Babylonians, because he wouldn't, it was Gorm Hachet. But it doesn't mean that it's an Aveira for them not to be Yoila. Same thing by us. It's Gorm Hachet that we don't have a Mashiach today. Anyway, then he brings from Ramban, V'yoisum izeh, Ois Yud Daled we're going to. V'yoisum izeh mavur b'Ramban Pashas Kisovay b'Soif Pashas HaToichachov v'zel Shonei HaKodesh. He says, that Hashem gives a haftocha, that he's not going to destroy Klal Yisrael. V'yaf gam zois be'yosim be'eretz oivehim loy mastim v'loy galtim l'chaloisam l'hofa brisi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives a haftocha that he's not going to destroy Klal Yisrael. That's only if they're living in Golus, not in Eretz Yisrael. Mavur mezeh shaftachosoi shel Hashem Yisborach shel yiachas v'shom kliya hurak b'yaseinu be'eretz avenu loy be'eretz Yisrael. If Klal Yisrael goes back to Eretz Yisrael, b'mei Golus, there's no haftocha Hashem won't destroy them. Hashem will only keep them safe if they're outside of Eretz Yisrael. Imkein hi gzeira noiro mi toy Yisborach shemoi. It's a frightful gzeira, an awesome gezeira of Hashem, lihiyos begoyle loy be'eretz Yisrael. V'haloi b'chol dor v'dorim dom aleinu l'chaloisenu. In every generation they try to kill us. V'akadosh Baruch Hu matzileinu miyodom. V'yimchas v'sholem botla havtachosa yizbarach shemoi. B'hatzola. Zu. Ein luchos hakona tzumu v'noyroyosim izavim ken yef shaloimar shmota lalois bershus. So what are you going to say? That if some government, the Turks, give the Jews reshus, they can all go to Eretz Yisrael? What do you mean? No. There's a gzeira in Golus where chayiv to be be'eretz oivehem. We're chayiv to be all over the world, including in Eretz Yisrael, as we're going to see. It's just part of the world. We're chayiv to be all over the world, but that Jews should go to Eretz Yisrael in Golus is a violation of the Shvuah. That's aliyah bachoma. This for sure, at least Roiv, that's for sure. One thing we eliminated, the requirement that you have to conquer it. But should they even go with Rishus, it would still be considered Bachoma. And not only that, a violation of Shvuah, but Hashem says, I'm not guaranteeing your safety anymore. If the majority of Klal Yisrael is in Chutz La'aretz and they are suffering the Golus, Oz kayemes haftachosa yizborach shmoy lishmor mikilya afes b'nei Eretz Yisrael. It means vein kavonas Ramban Elohim roiv Yisrael oilun b'choyme keneged ritzoni yizborach shmoy shegazar agolus. He doesn't mean that somebody in Eretz Yisrael doesn't have the haftacha if roiv Yisrael is in Golus. It means if roiv Yisrael is in Golus, then all the Jews all over the world have the haftacha. Just if the majority of Klal Yisrael violates the shvua and go up to Eretz Yisrael, then the Havtachas bottle. Nimtzel fizesh yeshivas roiv Yisrael begoila kigzeres habari yizbrach shmoi hiya matzeles gam toishvei Eretz Yisrael. Hashem saves the people who live in Eretz Yisrael b'schus that the majority of Jews are in Golus, outside of Eretz Yisrael. And then he brings from the Orach Chaim HaKadosh also like that it's clear that it means even Bershus bachoma does not mean necessarily violence. It does not mean necessarily military might. It doesn't mean necessarily to overcome the country, the residents of Eretz Yisrael, but even to go up there bachoma. Then he brings the Avnei Nezer, Sif Tez Zayin. V'hinei b'Avnei Nezer doch b'shtei yadayim es divrei hashoyel shevi misefer Ahavas Yonis, and the questioner in the Avnei Nezer brought from Rabbi Yonis and Eibeshitz in Parshas Vaschanon, and it's in other places also by Rabbi Yonis, Dafil b'shus kol ha'amim chol hashvu shlei lalus l'Eretz Yisrael yachad. That even with Rishus of all the Goyim, Rabbi Yonis and Eibeshitz says, just like we said from the Ramban, from the Yefei Toyar, that they're still not allowed to go up to Eretz Yisrael together. And he disagrees the Avnei Nezer. The Avnei Nezer disagrees with Rabbi Yonis and Eibeshitz. V'chol rayosei en ela meloshin Rashi. His raya against Rabbi Yonis, and it'll be against the Ramban and against the Yefei Toyar that we said. But the shoyel over there happened to have presented to him the Rabbi Yonis and Eibeshitz. And his raya of the Avnei Nezer, because Rashi says, Yachad biyad chazaka. V'im hu b'rshus ein zu yad chazaka. He says yad chazaka is mashma, that you need strength to do it. And if it's with Rishus, why is it called Yad Chazaka? V'yal kein kosav shief shalozois mi pirish Rashi. V'ani tama, I don't understand. Eich bon al yisoid ze godel, al ze yisoid godel kol kach al haloshin. Shimu b'Rishus yief shalom b'loshin Yad Chazaka. Litchois tivri hagoyin v'yahavas yoinisin. You want to be medayik in a loshin to disagree with Rabbi Yonis and Eibeshitz. Reishis, number one. Mikra mole. B'soif parsha shmois. Ki biyar chazaki yishalchem u biyar chazaki yigarsha miyarzoi. Means, Pirush Rashi, biyar chazaki yishalchem ibnei yodi hachazaka shetechazek olov. U biyar chazaki yigarshem al korchem shal Yisrael. V'chein huam av tchazik mitzrayim al ha'am lamar l'sholchem. Pirush, u pirush usham ezrachi guraye. Dim shmachi Pirush Rashi reisha dekro biyar chazaki yishalchem al yodoi hachazaka shal HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the strong hand of Hashem. V'loyal shel paroi, ki yodei hachazaka shel paroi hu b'sefer dekra. The kama biyad chazaki yigasham. Har shekora hakos ma shesholcha os paroi es Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, shei biyad chazaka shel paroi. This that paroi sent the Jews out of Egypt, it says paroi did it biyad chazaka of paroi. Av ki vadei paroi leos hashum al choma, or is a kviya neged Yisrael? Did paroi have to force them out militarily? No. Shehari adraba koroi som, he begged them to go. Umaviyoi Rashi umedrash Yalkut al hakosav v'kumutzu malamid sheyapari doifik al piskon shal Moshe v'Yaron omerlei hoshoyta b'layla anu yoytzen. V'im kein hari borush lo hoya oz eitzel pari shum kfiya o yad chazak mimenu al Yisrael al tzovach hari atem b'shuschem v'nichne b'hishtachaviyah v'hachnom rubel f'nei Moshe v'Yaron v'al kochach shmash yomru shahoyu mafilum v'tordon oisan l'tzeis ein ze ela bahola shal tachnuna matzumim v'roiv dvorim. So what is the Yad Chazaka? He was mamish begging them to get out. Please get out. So even lobbying somebody to get out is called Yad Chazaka. That's all he did. And it wasn't really, he didn't meet much resistance, Paroi. V'tzorach loimer al korchoch. De bechol ma shehodam maftzir mischazek. Hein im al yedei tachnunim merubim. V'hein al yedei puloi sacheir sheyesh behem nischazkus nikri Yad Chazaka. In other words, I would say with strength. It doesn't mean necessarily militarily strength. I could say, I strongly advise. Or I could say, I strongly request. That's also considered strongly. That would also be considered Yad Chazak in Lashon HaKodesh. In a Parshas Vaschanan, Oy Hanisa lakachas goy mikerev goy. Ba'oisais u'b'moisim u'b'mulchama b'Yad Chazaka. So does there Yad Chazaka mean mulchama? Can't. Because it's b'mulchama u'b'Yad Chazaka. Gam shomi yefshel farsh b'Yad Chazaka le'eze kfi shel mulchama shari kfa kosav u'b'mulchama. It says mulchama which is separate. Uben Ezra perish b'Yad Chazaka shietzu Yisrael b'Yad Roma. V'nir hakavona bezel hischaskus yisei v'shahoy. The Jews went out with a strong hand. K'mo shapiro satagum b'shus b'parshas b'shalach biad Roma b'reish golui. With a proud head, they went out with pride. They went out with strength, even though they did not have to fight anybody. So you see that the Loshen Yad Chazaka and the Loshen Choyma doesn't necessarily mean force. Ubezem is parsh hate of Loshen Rashi, shekos of Yachad B'Yad Chazaka. Now, until now he's been saying, no, I want to defend the Ramban, I want to defend the Ramban, I want to defend the Yifei Toyar, I want to defend Rabbi Yonasan Eibeshitz, that there's no raya from the Loshen Yad Chazaka. Now he's going to say, I could prove to you that that's not what Yad Chazaka means. Because Rashi says, Yachad B'Yad Chazaka. De'im nemo de kavanose B'Yad Chazaka al yidei milchoma shloi b'shus. If we're talking about a milchoma, bal korchoi, of the people living there, shahoven ken miloshen chachmeinu shloi yaalu b'choma, koyel shloi b'shus zenikra b'choma, minolei lohoisef oid loma yachad. Why does he have to say yachad? Now we know what yachad means. Yachad means a lot of Jews together. But where did Rashi get this? If Yad Chazaka means with force, and the Rashi saw this because it says bachoma, and for whatever reason Rashi is understanding bachoma to mean biyad Chazaka. Why? And how does Rashi know that biyad Chazaka is not enough to violate the Shvuah? You also need yachad, a lot of Jews together. Let him just say biyad Chazaka. But it's not just, it's an extra word. How did Rashi know such a thing? Minole lohoisef oid lo meyachad. The kevan shakavana b'shas. The koi rakim hu b'sholoi b'shus. Im kein zeu tam hoiser. B'shvil sholoi b'shus. V'yoz ein nafkaminim hu yachad oiloi. What's the difference if it's yachad or not? Minole lohoisef oid tanai shal yachad. Kevan shal fi pir zeh ein lo shum makar b'shas. There's no makar anywhere in the Gemara that has to be yachad. V'al kei nira borer, therefore it's clear, shekavonis Rashi zal, shetofas loshen risha in mashamar yachad, sha'isuhu ba'aliyah meruba yachad. It means that a large gathering of Jews, u'mashamar achakach b'yad ha'chazaka hu lefarish ha'maimer. It means to explain. Yachad, that is b'yad chazaka. Yachad, in a way, that's called yad chazaka. Meaning, the loma nikra ha'aliyah meruba yachad, b'loshen choyma. Why is it called choyma? Because b'shvil de kishaliyahu biyachad yeshelhem shamo yad chazaka. They have there a strong hand. If a bunch of people go there, they are going there with strength, meaning the Jews should not have a stronghold in Eretz Yisrael. And if they have a lot of people there, certainly if they have the majority of Jews there, that's a stronghold. And that's mamish what the Yifei Koil says. Then he brings from the Yifei Koil Vaita that there are psukim all over the place that says that Mashiach is going to come, make kibbutz Golius. He brings from a medrash that after the Shvuah said shelo yaalu bachoma from Golus, so it says, if you're going to be Yoel bachoma, Loma Melech HaMashiach, Bol HaKabis Guliyosei and Shel Yisrael. Why do you need Mashiach to make kibbutz Golius? Why the Psukim say Mashiach is going to make kibbutz Golius? So it's clear, Mavur, Midvorv HaKadoshim, Shakibutz Yachad Lalois, Hu Neged, Kama Kroi, Shemelech HaMashiach, Yikabitz Es Yisrael. And then he brings from the Arachaim HaKodesh that the Shvuah is Mashmetz Chal, even B'Shus of the Umois. And now let's go to Sif Yud Ches. In Sif Yud Ches, he brings from many, many sources, many midrashim, Gemara, that it's in the benefit of the Jewish people if they're spread around the world. Says the Gemara in Psochim, Tzedaka osa HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Yisrael shefozron lebein ha'umois. Gemara in Avodah Zarah, Kishem sheyef shel yolim b'loi ruchos kam yef shel yolim b'li Yisrael. Says the Maharsha Pshat, Shalidei shefizeroi som b'yaber ruchos ha'olim his parsim b'chol ha'olam emunosa v'tayrosa v'hu kiyim kol ha'olam. Because the Jews are all over the world, then Yiddishkeit is all over the world. Yiddishkeit is all over the world, that's the kiyum of the world. Also Chazal say that because the Jews are spread all over, they're not so easily killed. In the days of Achashverosh, it was easy for one king to say, boom, Ahoidu v'yad kush, kill the Jews. It's in the interest of the Jews, they shouldn't all be gathered together in one place. And there are many reasons why it's in the interest of the Jews and the interest of the world that the Jews should not be gathered into one place during Golus. Sif Yutes, Ugdol Mizumatzinu b'Medrash Rabbah. Even more than that, the Medrash says on the pasuk Kol Doidi Hine Ze Bo Zemel HaMashiach, says the Medrash, B'Shoshu Omer Yisrael b'Chodesh Hazeh Atem Nigolim Omer Loi Heichanu Nigolim V'Haloi Kvar Nishba Kodesh Baruch Shehu Mishabdeinu B'Shivam Umois. When Mashiach comes and he says he's here, the Jews are going to say, what do you mean? Hashem swore that he has to exile us, we have to be throughout the 70 nations. Mashiach's going to answer that all of you don't have to be all over the world. Even after Mashiach comes, Adain Yu Yireim Yisrael Hamaminim B'Shvosoi Shal Kadosh Baruch Hu Liyos Goyle B'Chol Shivam Umois Shev Sheshtia Gula L'Toiva Terem Sheneskaim Hashvu B'Dover HaGolus. Even when Mashiach comes, the Jews are going to say, are you sure? We know that we have to be in Golus throughout all the 70 nations. The Mashiach's going to say, wait, that was fulfilled. Even though all of you weren't all over the place, but one of you was over there, that's considered all over the place, and other territories also. But you see, even after Mashiach comes, the Jews are going to say, wait, we don't want Mashiach until we are sure that we have fulfilled completely the Gzeirus HaGolus and it's over. Meaning, if they have an opportunity to leave the Golus, no. That's a violation of the Shvu. It's dangerous for Klal Yisrael, never mind the punishment, but it's not in the interests of the Jews to leave the Golus before Hashem said it's time to leave. What's the mashal for that? What I write in my book?
Unplug the respirator.
That's right, unplug the respirator. Of course we want the Golus to end. Mashal l'mod over doime. You go into the hospital, you see a guy in a respirator. People saying Tehillim, they want the guy to be off the respirator. And some guy comes and says, what are you saying Tehillim for? Saying Tehillim, and they're crying. The family's there. People who mamish care about him. We want him to get off the respirator. And the guy's saying, idiots, I'll get him off the respirator for you. And he goes, pulls the plug and rips the guy out of the respirator. And all the people that were saying Tehillim start screaming at the guy, Reitzeach, murderer, Mishugina, Russia, you just took him off the respirator. So he says, I'm the Mishugina. 2 seconds ago, you told me that you're all praying all these years to get the guy off the respirator. I just did it for you. Now I'm the Russia, I'm the Mishugina, I'm the Reitzeach. Teretz says, no, you don't understand. When we say we want him off the respirator, we mean that he should be cured so he won't need the respirator. But kol zman he needs it, you better not take him out even a moment early or he dies. Same thing with the Jews in Golus. When we mispallel all the time that we want to end Golus, go back to Eretz Yisrael, etc., L'shana haba b'Yerushalayim. We don't mean go, just go. That's like taking a patient off the respirator. We mean that we should be cured of all the Averis that caused the Golus. We should be cured of the need for the Golus so that we don't need the Golus anymore. But kol zman, we're not cured, you better not leave the Golus. Otherwise, all these terrible, terrible things happen. Terrible things. And even when Mashiach comes and the doctor comes and says, all right, it's time to go off the respirator. Wait, are you sure? We know that we don't want to go unless we're sure that we were in the 70 Umos all over the place. And Mashiach's going to say, don't worry. Let me show you the medical chart. This works. But even after Mashiach comes, the Jews are going to say, are you sure? Even though we have an opportunity now, Mashiach's here to leave the Golus, we don't want to. Unless we're sure that we were Yotzei Hashem's Shvuah. Even if Mashiach comes, we're not going to let him take us out of Golus until we're sure that the Golus is over. Now why? That, long story short, you know the pshat, you know the Arizal, right? Why we're in Golus. Says that Golus is necessary for the world to exist. Hashem created the world, and what's going to happen is the nitzotzes. Hashem created the world so that it should be sanctified by the mitzvahs that the Jews do, and then when it's sufficiently sanctified, it's ready for Yemais Mashiach. Mamela, the Jews have to be all over the world in order to be able to sanctify the world. Without being all over the world world has no purpose. That's what the Arizal says is the purpose of the world and how the Golus fits in. You're going to ask me that Golus is a bad thing? So what does the Arizal say? That the Golus is necessary for the Akim of the world? Im Kain, Mahoyoz Gam, Im Kol Elu HaNeshamas VaNitzotzes Ki Kvar Tirtze B'Yarchaim HaKodesh Parshas Bahar. The Yarchaim HaKodesh asks it, and he answers that Shari Kedei Levar HaNitzotzes Shal Kedush Mi Bein HaRotzes Shkol Olam Im Toimar Im Kain Haloi Im Loi Hoy Yisrael Choitim V'Goylem Mi Hoy Mavar Mispar Matat Futzas Yisrael Da Ki Im Loi Hoy Yisrael Choitim Had the Jews not sinned, they would have been able to be malad the nitzotzes long distance from Eretz Yisrael through the medium of the Beis Hamikdash. But since they did Averis, now they're not allowed. One more thing, and then we'll call it a night for tonight. V'yoysem izeh kasav amaral mi Prague. We had the Ramban, we had the Marash Yafa, we had the Rabbi Yonasan Eibeshitz, we had the Arachaim HaKodesh that says that even if the Jews have an opportunity to leave Golus on their own, or Knufya Gedola, Roiv Klal Yisrael, we didn't decide that yet, to go to Eretz Yisrael, but certainly to leave the Golus, it's also to do, it's still a violation of the Shvuah. Gedola Mizu, Kosov HaMaral Mi Prague. The Maral says even more than that. V'sifrei Netzach Yisrael, Shemar Shem Tuva B'dinelu HaShvuah, Shlo Shanis Klal Binin HaGolus. V'sayim L'soif L'farish, Mashamru Sheshbion B'doyer Shal Shmad. He explains, Shrotzaloymar, Afim Yihu Roitzim LaHalmis Oisam, B'nuyim Koshim, even if the Goyim want to kill the Jews with terrible death, with terrible torture, Lo Yihu Yoitzim V'Lo Mishanim B'zeh, they should still stay in Golus. If the Goyim say, go to Eretz Yisrael or we'll kill you, we don't want you here, go, and they torture the Jews, they're not allowed to leave the Golus. V'chein pirush etzel kol echad v'yechad mishvuas halolu v'yesh lehoven zeh. Ein sham barichus dvar nimtzel fi dvarav. Shloi dai ma she'osu letzeis min hagolus af bershus. Not only are you not allowed to leave Golus even bershus, el afim yechoifu alehem bekfiyah shel misa rachmanu litzlan. Even if the Goyim threaten the Jews or force them with death to leave the Golus. Gam oz also lavar al hashvuos halolu. Then it would still be also to violate the shvuos. K'may bekfiyah shal shmad rachmanu litzlan. It would be mamish like a shmad. That's the lashon fil b'dori shal shmad. If a guy want a shmad, it's yehorg v'al yavor. If they want to end the Golus for us, if the goyim want us to end Golus, it's mamish yehorg v'al yavor. Near mimrutzas dvarav shesoiv b'zeh gamal hashvu shel yalu bachoma. Not only the chik is a case, but yalu b'chayim too. Be'ikar hadov mashkas b'nizeh mishpert chort shel yihorg v'al yava yizbar miyotz Hashem l'halon taimu nemukai. We're going to explain later. So we have everybody is chaylik on the Avnei. And by the way, the Minchas Eloza says that he believes and he has evidence that Avnei Nez is a forgery anyway. But forget about the Avnei Nez being a forgery for now. It's a shver zach. And we know everybody disagrees. We have the whole list of Rishonim and Achronim, is mashma like that from Chazal. And the Maral says even more, that leaving the Golus before the Zman is mamish yahorg v'al yavor. That even if they force you later on, so in Vayoel Moshe, so the Rebbe says that it doesn't dafka have to mean that the Goyim are forcing the Jews to leave the Golus, although it could mean that. He said it could mean that the Goyim are going to kill the Jews, and the only hope the Jews have is to leave Golus. So in other words, let's say there are two ways to learn it. You can learn it the Goyim are forcing the Jews by saying, you go to Eretz Yisrael or I'll kill you. I'll say, no, we want to kill you. And the only salvation for the Jews is to run to Eretz Yisrael. Still Yehorg v'al Yavor. Still they're not allowed to do it. That's either way would work in the Maral. But either way wouldn't make a difference for the point that violating the Shvuos is Mamash Yehorg v'al Yavor. Why it's so? We're going to